if you're going through a lot, is what I call it, where so many expectations, like you feel like you want to duplicate 5 of you, but it's not enough for you to go around, make sure you type podcast and listen to today's podcast. I think it's episode 48 or 50, something like that. You'll see it. It's the last episode that I just released today. But if I'm being real with you, man, I'm going through a tough season. You can't see, but we have boxes here, like we're moving. And so I'm in the middle of moving. I'm in the middle of, traveling, speaking. I'm in the middle of all the titles that I have in my life. And so I want to tell everybody this before I jump into it. Like, give yourself some grace and be proud of yourself. You're doing a damn good job. And I want to tell you that no matter how hard you've been on yourself, no matter how much you could do better, you're doing a damn good job for most of you. Most of you are a mom, most of you are a dad, and you have so many other titles that you're trying to balance and you're trying to wear, so many responsibilities. And I know sometimes it can be stressful. I know sometimes it can be hard. I know sometimes like, man, can I get a break? This is a lot. It gets heavy. But I want you to give yourself grace. And I want to let you know you are doing a damn good job. And yeah, I just saw that on my chat. Prayers for everybody in Texas, man, especially Houston area. I know there's a lot of storms in Texas, and, making sure that everybody's safe. And this is what I want to tell you, man. I want to repeat that to you. Got sidetracked a little bit, but you're doing a good job. And I want you to give yourself some grace. I want you to give yourself some credit. But I want to talk about this because sometimes in our life, we mislabel things. We mislabel blessings. We mislabel things that are happening in our life. And so I always tell you that your meanings create your being. And what I mean by that is what you give meanings to creates you, right? If you give poor meanings, if you give meanings that are destructive, you're going to live a very destructive life. You're not going to have no energy. You're not going to love life. And so that's why we always got to control our meanings. So I want to just stick on this topic for today because I had to tell myself this today. So I'm preaching to myself. But I'm with a lot of adversity right now. And adversity doesn't mean a bad thing. Adversity doesn't mean everything is going wrong, but I'm just met with opposition. I'm met with adversity. And that's a part of growth. That's a part of bettering your life. And for some of us, we think adversity is the opposition. We think adversity is working against us. And I just want to just give you this gift right now, if you allow me to. Like, adversity is nothing but an opportunity to show that you built for it. Adversity is nothing but an opportunity to show your faith. Adversity can be a gift that grows your life because we don't get stronger without going through hard times. Not saying we wish hard times on our life on purpose, but we don't get stronger if we don't go through anything. And so sometimes, like, we're asking for growth. We're praying for growth. We want to elevate. We want to change, but then we don't expect to go through growing pains. I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to grow taller. Like, Dad, I want to grow. I want to grow. And I remember as I started to grow, I started to go through some growing pains. My knees started to hurt. My joints started to hurt. I'm like, this sucks. This hurts. I can barely sleep. And my dad said, hey, you say you wanted to grow. You can't grow without going through growing pains. So for some of us, right, we're going through a season of growing pains, and it's okay. But that adversity is meant for you. Don't dodge it. Don't run from it, right? Maybe the adversity of somebody walking out your life, or maybe the adversity is, something had to come to an end. Maybe the adversity is you're in a season of a lot like I am right now. But I know in these seasons, produces your growth. I know in these seasons, this produces your faith. One of my favorite quotes is that your hardest times will build your strongest faith. Again, we're not praying for hard times to come to our life on purpose, but I want you to understand that you're built for it. You're built for it. And your next level is going to require some adversity. Your greatness is going to require some adversity. The greatest you is going to require some adversity. A better you is going to require some adversity, right? Your next level is going to require some adversity. It's a part of it. And I know sometimes we want to just go through life smooth sailing, but I'm going to just be real with you. When you're sailing on that water of greatness, when you're sailing in that water of legendary, that ocean of legendary, you're going to go through some troubled waters. You're going to go through some trying times. You might even go through some floods in your life. But one of my favorite quotes that I've said since 2009, the floods that come into your life are not meant to drown you. They're there to teach you how to swim. They are there to teach you how to swim. Mountains will find you. When you're meant to ascend, listen to me right now. When you're meant to ascend to higher heights, when you're meant to grow your life, when you're meant to reach different peaks, when you're meant to elevate, you have to understand mountains will find your life. And the mountains that find your life aren't your opposition. Those mountains have found your life so you can climb. That incline is heavy. I understand it right now. And hopefully it doesn't last like that for a long time. But we have to go through an incline to ascend. We have to go through an incline, meaning that some type of resistance. It can be tough. Maybe in a season of doing a lot. Maybe in a season like me of trying to figure things out. Maybe in a season of losing a job. Maybe in a season of losing a relationship. But when you shift your mind and say, you know what? This is working for me. You know what? I'm going to turn this adversity into my greatest opportunity for growth, my greatest opportunity to get better, my greatest opportunity to grow my faith. I'm going to look at this situation and I'm going to allow this situation to actually change my life. I'm going to put a pinpoint right here. When I look back and tell my story, I'm going to say, it was this opposition, it was this adversity that built me. So you know what? I'm not going to retreat when it gets hard. When my back is against the wall, I'm going to stand taller. And that's what I want for you. So when these times get hard, you go harder. When these times go hard, you don't retreat, you don't run, you don't tuck your tail. You stand up against it because you are built for it. Yeah, I know people counted you out. I know people are trying to take you out. I know this life is trying to make you give up. But giving up is permanent. The pain is temporary. And so when these mountains have found your life, you climb these mountains. Because the more you climb these mountains, you grow your faith. So when another mountain finds your life, because it will, because you're full of greatness, because you are called to do great things, when another mountain finds your life, you don't trip no more. You say, okay, I'm just going to climb this mountain and reach my peak. The next mountain comes. I'm just going to climb this mountain because I know at some point the mountain isn't going to last forever. I know at some point I'm going to reach a plateau. I know at some point the storm isn't going to last forever. I know at some point it will lighten up, but this is life. Storms are coming. I don't care if you live in the hood. I don't care if you live in Hollywood. Storms will find your zip code regardless. It's a part of life. And so you got to change your perspective towards these storms, toward this adversity, and say, this is an opportunity. Everybody in the chat right now say adversity is an opportunity to show what I'm truly made of. Adversity is an opportunity to show that I'm built for it. Adversity is an opportunity to grow my life. So be thankful for the growing pains. Be thankful for the seasons of uncertainty. Be thankful for the seasons of even feeling like you're lost at times. Because what's going to happen next in your life? What's going to happen next in your life is that you are going to grow. You are going to learn. And again, it isn't always about you anyway. Sometimes we go through things like, why am I going through this? I didn't ask for this. I didn't need this. Until you realize that maybe your kids need this 10 years down the line. Maybe one of your friends that are going through a situation need this, and you're the person that can help them. You're the person that can speak faith in them, as I am right now. So when I look at everything that I go through, I don't just go through these things for me. I always say it's bigger than me. What is this trying to teach me, and also teach the people in the future that I come in contact with that might be going down the same path as me, that might meet the same mountain as me. And I can tell them with confidence, hey, this mountain is tough. This mountain is hard, but I promise you, if you keep climbing, you will get over it. If you keep climbing, you will get stronger. If you keep climbing, you will reach your peak. So these things that have come to your life, they are gifts. They are gifts. And you can sit in the chat and say, Trent, no, it's not. Well, I can't help you. If you want to sit there and throw a pity party for yourself, then I can't help you. If you want to sit there and make your perspective your prison, then I can't help you. Because yes, those mountains will stay the biggest barriers in your life, of course, with your permission. Or it can be the greatest challenge that turns into the greatest opportunity for your life with your permission. It's up to you. The man that climbs the mountain is the same. The woman that climbs the mountain is the same. It's the same. It's the person's mindset towards the climb. So right now in this moment, I want you to make up your mind in how you're going to show up for yourself. I want you to make up in your mind how you're going to show up for your life. I want you to make up in your mind how you're going to show up, right, from this day forward. From this day forward. You know what I mean? Like when you go through it's easy. It's easy. I don't want to say it's easy. It's easier when it's easy, right? It's easier when there's no challenge. It's easier when, you know, the thing in front of you, you can kick its butt all day long. You're comfortable with it. It's easy to stay in the comfort. But are you still going to show up even in discomfort? Are you still going to show up even when life kicks your butt and you get back up and tell life, like, hey, you might have won this round, but you ain't winning the next? That resilient spirit creates legendary. That resilient spirit is going to help you live your best year yet. The resilient spirit to say, this is who I am no matter what. No matter what comes my way, I am not going to remove my faith. I am not going to retreat. I am not going to throw a pity party. I am not going to complain. I'm not going to blame. I'm going to stand taller on all 10 toes. I'm going to stand, as we say, on business. I'm going to stand on business. Even if it's hard to stand, I'm going to stand because I know I'm going to get through this. I know I'm going to overcome. So today, just give yourself some credit. Like, I know you have a lot going on. I know you're doing a lot. Give yourself some credit. And if you must, give yourself some breaks, give yourself some help, whatever it may be. But whatever it is, don't you quit on yourself. Don't you throw the towel in on yourself, right? This is a journey. Fall in love with progression. Fall in love with progression, not perfection. Fall in love with one step every single day. That's what life is about. You know, it's a journey. We're going to go through our moments of a lot, like I am right now. It's a lot. It's a lot. Or I can say, you know what? It's a lot of blessings. Like I have the opportunity to be able to move. Some people don't have a house. I'm going to give you a reframe right now in real time. I was tripping like, man, I got to move. I got to pack these boxes. I got to go to Vegas this week. I got all these things. I said, bro, chill out. You're blessed. All these things you're complaining about are things that you once prayed for. You have the opportunity to pack a house and move. Some people don't have a house. You have an opportunity to get hired to go speak on stages. Some people don't have a job. You have the opportunity to get in better shape. And I know it sucks right now. Some people don't have the opportunity to. Some people can't run. You know how that is, Trent. I'm talking to myself. You know how it is. 2 years ago, you couldn't run. And so I'm making sure that my perspective works for me. And some of us, we think, oh, that's just something small. That don't really work. And we wonder why we stay in the same mindset for the rest of our life and experience the same life for the rest of our life. It's the small things that transform your life. It's the small things that renew your mind. It's the small things that replenish your spirit. It's the small things that reignite the energy that you need. That's it. It's not about changing the circumstance. I've been telling y'all that since day one. It's not about the circumstances changing. It's about your mindset towards the circumstances that really make the great change in your life, right? The circumstances changing is the last thing. Sometimes circumstances don't change. But I can change my mindset towards it. I can change my mindset towards it. And that's what changes everything. That's what creates the circumstances to change over time. But we gotta trust more. And we gotta make sure that we know that everything is working for us. And I know sometimes that is hard to say. It's hard to believe, especially when you climb your mountain. You're like, Trent, this mountain is steep, bro. You don't understand. I'm in Phoenix right now climbing this mountain. It's 120 degrees. Like I'm in Texas right now. Like this mountain is hard. I don't see the peak. I don't see it ending. I get you if you're right there. But what's the other alternative? Going back down the mountain? Going back down and going back to the things that you're trying to heal from, the things that you grew from? Going back to the same things that you know don't help your life? We climb. We climb. Even if the climb is hard, we got to remember that the peak is always beautiful. And the more we persevere, the more we strengthen our spirit, the more we endure. Those climbs don't necessarily change, but it gets easier because our spirit gets stronger. And that's what it's all about. So I want you to think about that today. I know this message might not be for everybody. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate you, man. And I want to say this, man. People always say, man, you saved me. I appreciate, I understand what you're saying, but I always want to remind y'all, man, I haven't saved one life. You know what I mean? I can come on here and speak life and post things, but until you make the decision to change, until you make the decision to take action, my words mean nothing. And for a lot of people, yeah, it makes them feel good, gives them a dopamine hit, gets them excited. But most people don't even do anything about it. And so, Matthew, if you change your life, understand you changed your life. I didn't change your life. You changed your life. You did. You know what I mean? God did. I'm just the vessel. That's it. Only thing I can do is talk it. I can't make you do it. Right? Only thing you can do is accept it and give yourself permission to make the change. So I want you to give yourself credit. And everybody in here that loves to say, hey, man, Trent, you changed my life. I didn't. I might have sparked some change. I might have ignited some change. I might have had you thinking about change, but you had to take the action. So give yourself a credit because that just shows you're stronger than what you think. You know what I mean? So I want to just say that, man. I appreciate you. Make sure you listen to today's podcast. You can go on my YouTube channel, Trent Shelton, and you can see the video, or you can just type podcast. You can listen to the audio. With all things, you can go to TrentShelton.com just to make it easy for you. And again, September 21st, my 40th birthday. And I'm actually on my journey right now, y'all. I'm starting day one, even though I've started before. But this is literally day one of climbing the mountain. I'm not going back down the mountain for anything. So I'm being very strict in my health. I'm being very strict in how I show up. And I'm going to be my best self on September 21st. I'm going to defy the odds. People say, oh, you're 40. You got 3 kids. You should look like this. You should feel like this. And I just hate when people put a social society status on people or expectation and say, you should not. I'm going to show y'all that age ain't nothing but a number. I'm going to show y'all that the only limitations that exist and possibilities that exist are the ones that you put in place on your life. That's what I'm going to show y'all. You know what I mean? So you can join me. All I'm doing is I'll just tell you right now, I'm eating healthy. I'm working out every single day for at least an hour. I'm being loyal to my creativity, meaning that I'm getting back creative. For me, that means getting in the studio. It means creating some spoken words. writing, all the things. And I'm staying focused on just the things that move me forward. That's it. I don't have time for anything else that's not moving me forward in my life. So I don't want to be super strict with everything, but I promise you when I show up to September 21st, I'm going to be unrecognizable in the best way. I promise you that. I'm going to be unrecognizable in the best way. And so you can join me. You know, it's about, 2 months and I think 12 days of just straight focus. You know what I mean? Giving that gift to ourselves, because listen, a lot of us, we want everybody else to do things for us. A lot of us want everybody else to like us and love us and support us and everything like that. But we treat ourselves like crap. We treat our bodies like crap. You know what I mean? We treat our energy with disrespect. We disrespect our own boundaries. And we do all these things, and yet we expect people to just magically treat us better than how we treat ourselves. I talk about this in Protect Your Peace. And type peace right now. If you want the book Protect Your Peace, a signed copy, I'll send you a DM. But I talk about this in Protect Your Peace. I tell people all the time, you tell people how to treat you by what you accept. You tell people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. I always tell people, you set the tone for your life. And so you know why a lot of people don't give me disrespect? Not saying I'm immune to it, not saying people don't try, but a lot of people don't bring disrespect for me because they see how much I respect myself. And when people see how much you respect yourself, it's hard for them to bring disrespect to you. When people see how much you love yourself and how good you treat yourself, it's hard for them to treat you bad because they realize they can't take advantage and they can't manipulate a strong soul. And that's what you are. But you got to be able to prove it to yourself. You got to be able to give the things that you want from others to yourself first, right? You're the foundation of your life. So be able to give it to you. And so that's the journey I'm on. And when we hit September 21st at 7 p.m. in Fort Worth, Texas, in a theater, we're going to celebrate. And we're going to live legendary. We're going to feel legendary. We're going to look legendary, right? Holistically. Let's get our best life. Why not? Why not? Some of you ain't never experienced that. Why not? Why not get your best life in certain areas of your life? And the thing that you can control is your health. Let's start there. And I know that's a sensitive subject for people, but let's get our best life. Let's start there. A lot of other things we can't control. We can't control success. We can't control finances sometimes, but we can control our health. We can control how we treat our body. We can't control what we put our life around. We can control how we treat our emotional and physical health. So if you're with me, right? If you're with me, lock in. Okay, I have moments of where we celebrate. I'll have some free Zooms. Tap in with me, but let's do it. All right, because I'm doing it. And I'm going to be live here a lot because when my energy's high, I press live. Okay, but again, type legendary. If you want to come to my event in Dallas, Fort Worth, September 21st, my 40th birthday, where if you've never been to my event, it's an experience, y'all. Like if you like this, you're going to love the event. It's going to be different. Some I've never done before. You've been to my past events. Some I've never done before. It's going to be high level. I want to see you. Just type legendary. Just go to TrentShelton.com. Listen to today's podcast. Okay. Make sure y'all tap into the podcast. If you listen to me live, you should be listening to my podcast. It's the same thing pretty much. Tap into my podcast. Visit TrentShelton.com or just type podcast and I'll send you a link. You guys share this for me. Like this for me. Let's continue to rehab and impact the world. Make sure you turn your notifications on too. Facebook tries to limit my reach. That's why sometimes people don't even know I go live anymore. So turn your notification on, turn the bells on. Make sure you put every post you get notified, and let's go live our best life. And I'll end with this. It is time to make adversity our friend. It is time to make adversity and show adversity and define adversity as opportunity. Adversity is the opportunity to show what we really made of, to show that we worth it and to show that we built for it. Because you are. I'm proud of you. Right? You're doing a damn good job. Keep going. Let's get it.